What is up, guys? This is Kobe here, and I just want to say after numerous times of funding and defunding this character, I have finally decided to fund my Battle Mage back up to a point where it got strong enough to be able to do the Seren Champion mission within the 20-minute timer that is required, and I got that Seren piece done. I got that extra crit damage. The video footage will be shown at the end. But there are probably some things I want to talk about first. A little bit about the system, and then kind of like the gear that I use to be able to make this solo actually happen. I'm not going to go over everything related to Legion Champion in this video. I will do that in another video. For now, I just want to show off like, hey, this character soloed Seren in 19 minutes and 50 seconds, and I want to show you what I had in order to do it. Now, this won't exactly follow the gear set for people that will want to do this on like Chronos, but fortunately I do have a mechanic on Chronos who's around 138 mil combat power right now, so I could basically make a similar video whenever Legion Champion does make it a GMS and I do solo Seren on my mechanic. I will be showing you guys my Battle Mage's stats through the Maple Scouter. I think it's easier for me to go over the gear a bit more, and then a lot of this is already like kind of mostly translated, though some things I will have to like, you know, tell you guys because I didn't translate the plots or anything. But I have my whole like WSC, my armor set, my accessory set, so let's get right into it. As you can see right here, the combat power is 126 million, but that was after I completed the mission and got the 3 crit damage. Before the mission, I was only at 124 million combat power. And then for the HEXA converter I was at, I'll get to that when I get to like the boss cuts after I show off all the gear. But anyway, as you can see down here, symbols in frag investment. Obviously, you know, at this point you'd have max nodes. Who the hell wouldn't have max nodes? But all the arcane symbols are done. I got level 9 Cernium, 8 Arcus, 6 Odium, and 6 Shangri-La. And then down here, I have invested 114 Erda and 1.7k fragments into this character's skills. This does not include fragments invested into HEXA, but HEXA is pretty much, it goes into combat power. So I can get like similar combat power while not really putting anything in HEXA at all. So it's like, it doesn't really matter. What really matters is the amount of frags I put into like my actual damaging skills. And then down here, you can see the levels. I have my Mastery 1 at 12, Mastery 2 at 7, Mastery 3 at 9, 4 at 7, Origin at 7, and then my skills are 4, 4, 1, 1. But I'm also, as a Battle Mage is a class that has really good Hexa efficiency, where you get most of your damage from Hexa Matrix very early on. I can't really say, I don't know how this works for a lot of jobs in this game, honestly. I don't even know how good like Hexa efficiency is on my real main, Dark Knight. So it's like, I just so happen to know that for Battle Mage. But I think most people will probably be like in the 1.5 to 2k frag range if they want to combat the Seren mission. But I think that's just how I feel. So first things first, the WSC. So we have our Genie weapon. Flame is 30 int, T6 magic, T5 boss. Main pot is 35 boss, 18% magic attack, and then the B pot is basically 12% magic attack and 15% int. I was definitely gonna stop at 2-line unique, but I teed up to legendary on the B pot really quickly. I mean, of course, main pot 3-line, that takes however long what it takes, whether using like the magic wand or free cubes from Azimuth. You get like 30 Meister cubes a week, or event black cubes. You know, those are still a thing. And then for, you know, I will keep going until I hit it like any 3-line, because I'm not trying to invest too much of the mules, right? So the first 3-line I see, even if it's 3-line boss, that's it. I'm just gonna work with that. And then the B pot, I will probably just go for like, I stuck with 6% magic attack epic for a while because I was basically free. But then if I wanted to get a little bit better, I was like, okay, maybe I should get into unique and then probably see if I can work my way towards 2-line or something equivalent, like at least 15% attack. And then I would just keep that, and then that's perfectly good as is. Secondary, this one's really interesting, and it's a reason why like on this little like graph here, my IED is so high. This secondary has 2 lines of IED and 1 line of magic attack. Ideally, I did not want to keep this secondary at all, but I decided I was going to make it work. I used nothing but free cubes on here. I didn't want to use any like paid cubes. I used a legendary potential skull that I got from doing Challenge World. So The secondary here was basically free. And then whenever I 20 started during an event, it only took me like 1 bill. So it's just free ass secondaries. It only sucks because when they give out those legendary pot scrolls, you can only use it on untradeable equipment. So I can't like sell this secondary and get a better one. Basically, I had to like, I mean, I can get a better secondary. I just have zero value off selling this one because you can't. And then the emblem is just 2-line magic attack, 1-line all stat, and then the B pot is 1-line magic attack and 1-line int. So as you can see, the WSCs are like meh, you know, they get by, but at the end it's like it's all right. And then now armor, I'm wearing full 12-star Eternals. This is when like the things like start kind of shifting, and then you definitely can't follow this progression path on Chronos by any means. But it's okay because I can provide like additional alternatives whenever I do the mechanic video. But for now, I'm just gonna show you what I have on the BAM. So the hat. The 2 items I would consider buying and not really making on my own are the hat and the glove. Because for cooldown classes, obviously you want to buy a cooldown hat because screw trying to work your way up on your own to get legendary pot. This is a 1-second hat though, by the way. But this actually did help out quite a bit, I can't lie. It's a 1-second hat with 2 lines of events, and then the B pot is only 1 line event on Epic. Obviously I didn't need this hat, but like I just saw it and it's like, damn, like Battle Mage could definitely get away with the stat hat, but a cooldown hat isn't exactly like the worst thing for the class. I've seen a lot of in-game BAMs and KMS start going towards cooldown hats, so I'm like, you know what, shoot, I may as well just buy this one. This one isn't even all that expensive really. I think I got it for like, I don't know, like probably 2 bill higher than the price of a clean hat, which is really good for a legendary pot. The other item that was not self-made is the glove. I bought this for the 1-line crit damage and then 14% all stat on the potential. You can see like the flames and then the scrolling Star Force stats for yourself here. And then the B pot was only really 1-line magic attack rare. I was really broke at the time making this glove or working on the rest of this glove outside of the main pot. So I hit that B pot on reveal and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna keep it. That's it. And then everything else, the top, everything is basically just gonna be 2-line unique. Actually, I think the pants are epic. Yeah, you know, the pants are just stood at epic, but it's like 14% epic, which is really close. The B pot on here is what, 12 magic attack, 3% int. A lot of B pots will probably be roughly around there, or just the 5% int 1-line. Because again, I was not trying to invest too much work on the B pots. 2-line B pots are cool and all. I definitely thought I would need them, but clearly I did not. The shoes, basically similar main pot and B pot, 17% int. 12 magic attack, 3 int, and then over here with the cape, I rolled this on my own. I got the 11 all stat, 7 int main pot, and then the B pot is 3% int and 11 magic attack. And then we have the shoulder, which is 17 int main pot and 8% int B pot, which has the scrolling of 8 magic attack. It's weird that Scouter translates this to, or no, I'm sorry, I said it's weird that Scouter would translate this to a regular attack, but the magic attack is down here. But you get the idea. But yeah, my Eternals, they do what they gotta do, bro. As long as I got like a decent hat, like for when I gear the FP, I'm buying like probably a -3 second hat, and then of course crit damage gloves, and then all the other pieces I could just buy and like tier up on my own. Because tiering up to unique main pot and epic B pot is really not that expensive. It's about 1 bill. And if you want to know how much money I make, at least off boss crystals, I make like 7.3 bill a week. So it's really not that bad. And the current prices of Eternals off events, because they do go up a lot, you know, during Star Wars events and whatnot. But Callus and Calling Eternals, so these 4 on the left, or not, no, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, not the glove, are 1.8 bill for a clean item, which is like very easy to get. And then the Limbo Eternals are about 4.2 bill, the Limbo Baldrix Eternals. So very, very attainable items. And then I bought the gloves for like an extra 3 bill for the main pot. So that's a really good deal. It's like, that's just how it goes. And then of course, I only got them all to 12. I thought I was going to start everything at 17, but lo and behold, hit the boss sooner than I expected. It was not necessary. And then accessories, as you can see, I have a bunch of pitch boss accessories, but they're all 17 stars outside of this source that I bought at 18. Then I have a black heart because, you know, if you have like a pretty established account and you have, you know, a number of black hearts, you would definitely want to pop a black heart to be able to do the champion mission on a mule. Though granted, on Rec server with a scrolled fairy heart, black heart is only really like plus 2.5 FD. If you popped a black heart on Kodos, you probably gain like 7. It also really depends on like what set effect you be getting as well. But anyway, this is very similar to the Eternals, where they would just be you know, 2-line unique main pot and 2-line epic B pot, 1 to 2-line epic B pot basically. Everything is at least 15%. I know there are some pieces I bought. I made the CFE main pot 3-line in. I got lucky on those. But it's all, you know, 15. Over here, that's a 21 that I bought. The Daybreak, that's a 21 that I bought. Slime Ring, that's a 50. I'm pretty sure like I bought like all of this basically. A Comp 4, Event Ring that I self-cubed, because you can only self-cube Event Ring, so that's it just is what it is with that. This could have been a Meister Ring, but this Event Ring was good enough to where it's like, alright, cool, we could just rock with it. And then of course the 2-line Magic Attack B pot, and then the ET, bought the main pot here. And then the book, pretty sure I got the book as a drop, and then I equipped it. 2 of my characters, I got books as a drop, and I just put them on, so I never really had to buy a book. That was really nice. And then the Black Heart, which costs about 700 mil for 20 days, and it gives like the usual stats. And then the way I would score these items is, I think for the secondary, the shield, I just used, oh, I don't even think I fully scrolled this. There's no way this is fully scrolled. Pretty sure you could scroll it for like 10 in per slot if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, I think I needed to work on the shield scrolling some more. I completely forgot. That's crazy. But the armor is all scored with 15% spell traces, except for the shoulder. That's, it has like Icog stone on it and whatnot, and landed a magic attack with those. And then the accessories are all just scrolled with premium accessory scrolls, and like, that's really it. When you scroll like that, it's super easy to do. The only like really bad scrolling comes down to when you have to icog everything, and that's like absolutely not, hell no. You wouldn't even do like, I wouldn't even do that on my Dark Knight spec yet. I'm like relatively close to having to do it, but you never ever do that for the mule. There's no point. So here's the cost of the pitch boss as a whole. All pieces, again, this is between Star Force events, so they are probably worth way more on actual Star Force events. A sauce is more expensive than an ET because Hilla is a very tough boss that a lot of people struggle with. That's just how that goes. In total, they all range to be about 22.9 bill. And then, so if you add up like the total cost with seeing clean pitch and clean Eternals, it's about 42.7 bill right now. Which, if I were to do like all my bosses, that would probably take me about 6 weeks of saving on Mesos to buy full pitch and Eternals for a single mule. Which doesn't even involve the extra amount of money that I get from printing my Dark Knight, you know, the Mesos I loot, the frags I loot that I would, you know, mostly potentially sell if the character doesn't really need to work on their matrix at the moment. So that's like really not too bad either. Then there's additional costs when it comes to, you know, the scrolling a little bit. Scrolling isn't too expensive. It's just a little bit of a long process for the 15% traces. The tier up to unique main pot, epic B pot. There's also a little bit of the flaming, but flames in KMS reg are extremely cheap. It's like super easy to get Eternals and be like, hey, I want to go for like 105. Like it's not hard at all. Red flames are 500k, bro. Like they come by like a breeze. It's no problems. And then of course the star forcing, everything considered. I can't really wrap up like a total price, I feel like, on how much a Seren mule would cost over here. I could say it could be somewhere in like the 90 to 100 bill range, but I'm really not too sure. But whenever you do get a character to that point, they are practically strong enough to solo easy calling, and if you do transform that character into an easy calling mule, which is what I plan to do with the battle mage, off of raw crystal mesos, you make about 2 bill a week. So it will take you maybe a year. A year to pay the character back in full after you fund it to the Seren mission, and then you just do weekly bosses every week, you know, for a whole year. And then that's not even counting the pitch boss that could drop as well, or just any rare drops that any boss could give you, which is nice. Now for what Hexa converted I was when I fought Seren, it says 53.3, but that was not the case. For buff select, I used the 275 buff. I use this buff from the champion raid, which, you know, you get like points from doing the raid. Again, that's going to be talked about in another video. I go down here, did not have the crit damage bonuses just yet, so I'm going to throw in that -3. Tick on additional spec simulation, apply it, go back up, and I figured it was more about 54.3. But this is like close enough to it. I'm still gonna say it's about 54.3 because that's what my Moscato was saying when I actually went and cleared the boss. So as you can see, not too bad. Of course, you need to be quite skilled. It could take you a few tries. I imagine if you want to try it around this spec, you know, you definitely can. You should not give up if you really want to brute force it and you don't want to fun it anymore, because that's just how some of these missions are gonna have to go. I think the ideal HEXA converted for all 5 champion missions would range from maybe like, this is after M3 and 4 by the way, and assuming you are level 260 plus with, you know, 6 shop unlocked. But Hard Lotus, you can do that at about 13k. Hard Lotus is super easy. This is within the, you know, the 20-minute timers for each boss, but 45 minutes for Black Mage in champion practice mode. So you have like full G skills for the whole timer, you have Seren for the full timer, all that stuff. So Hard Lotus is about 13k. Hard Vihila is about 30k. I think it could be like a little bit lower than 30, like 28, 29, but probably 30k if you know, for like most people. Black Mage, I would say about 42, 43k, roughly just about. Hard Seren, about 55k. Of course, I did at 54, but you know, that could be a bit tough. And then for normal Kalos, I would say that's about 65k. Obviously, worrying about champion mules is like much further out for a lot of players. It's even much further out, like spec-wise, for KMS Reg than say like GMS Heroic. Like I feel like KMS Reg players shouldn't worry about HCR mules until 100k converted. Which, funny enough, this Hard Seren mission basically got me the crit damage bonus that pushed my Dark Knight to 100.1k hexa converted when you look the character up. So that's not too bad. And the normal Kalos isn't even done until like 110, 115k plus hexa, just because it is a bit of a fund from 55k to 65k hexa, and that's really mostly just how it is. Like I think you can naturally make characters up to Hard Vihila solo very easily on Heroic. I really do not think it is all that challenging, respectfully. But if you want to start pushing characters to like Seren, I would probably say your main should probably at least be in a relatively decent spot at about, I don't know, like level 290. You think like most of it is like practically done. I mean, obviously you can work on champions whenever you want. If that's the way you have fun in the game, then so be it. But ideally, I think a lot of people are worried about the system when they don't really necessarily need it. They can get a lot more damage on their main for in-game bosses by simply just leveling up. And that's really the big thing about it. But anyway, that is all. I just wanted to like keep a log or just kind of track down the specs that my battle mage was at when I did the Seren mission, so I can show you guys what I did it with. Really just mainly looking at the combat power and the Hexa converted. A lot of y'all probably play on GMS Heroic, so you cannot copy this gear set whatsoever at all. But again, I want to see if I can replicate something similar for when I do my mech when GMS gets the system. People are speculating, there's some like really cope speculation that because of CSL coming out and what is it called, Erda Link, I believe, that Erda Link is going to replace Legion champions. I mean, hey, look, I've been wrong about a lot of things, especially with Sia coming out, but like, that might be a reach, bro. Who knows? With that being said, only time will tell. I'm sure we'll get the GMS Sparkle site either sometime this week or next week, and we'll probably get like a little roadmap-ish of like what's to come out during the summer for GMS, all things considered. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this Seren run coming up, and I will see you guys in the next video. The whole shebang, bro. There we go. Okay.
도망쳐봤자다. 죽음 앞에 평등하지. 받아라. 앗! 끝내주마. 앗! 야! 받아라. 하! 핫! 핫! 끝내주마. 죽음을 피할 순 없어. 앗! 앗! 끝내주마. 받아라. 받아라. 핫! 앗! 차! 받아라. 야! 순간조. 차! 끝내주마. 도망쳐봤자다. 앗! 꿀로 만들어주지. 엑! 받아라. 앗! 앗! 죽음을 피할 수 없어. 받아라. 핫! 도망쳐봤자다.
Lock the fuck in. Play some Reborn the Monster.
죽음 앞에 평등하지. 핫! 끝내주마. 야! 핫! 핫! 받아라. 핫! 받아라. 이제 날 막지 못해. 도망쳐봤자다. 차! 핫! 차! 핫! 받아라. 끝내주마. 야! 핫! 핫! 받아라. 야! 핫!
Bruh, what the hell, man? Oh my god, I hate this game.
끝내주마. 핫! 죽음의 용을 받아라. 핫! 도망쳐봤자다. 끝내주마. 핫! 죽음을 피할 수 없어. 끝내주마. 차! 끝내주마.
This is not good, bro. What is going on?
그렇쳐봤자다.
I just gotta lock in, man.
내 살려. 끝내주마. 끝내주마. 서단주. 받아라. 그렇쳐봤자다. 끝내주마. 받아라. 받아라. 서단주. 끝내주마. 받아라. 끝내주마. 받아라. 끝내주마. 받아라. 받아라. 죽음 앞에 평등하지. 죽음의 용기 끝내주마. 받아라. 끝내주마. 받아라. 끝내주마. 모든 힘을 하나로. 피할 수 없어. 받아라. 받아라. 끝내주마. 도망쳐봤자다. 티끌로 만들어줘. 죽음 앞에 평등하지. 도망쳐봤자다. 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 야! 타! 끝내주마. 받아라. 죽음의 영역을 쏘. 도망쳐봤자다. 타! 타! 죽음 앞에 평등하지. 도망쳐봤자다. 죽음 앞에 평등하지. 야! 끝내주마. 재물이 많고. 도망쳐봤자다. 죽음 앞에 평등하지. 받아라. 끝내줘. 타! 타! 야! 끝내줘. 끝내주마. 심판이다. 받아라. 받아라. 타! 도망쳐봤자다. 끝내주마. 도망쳐봤자다. 끝내주마. 죽음 앞에 평등하지. 받아라. 끝내주마. 야! 날 막지 못해. 끝내주마. 받아라. 죽음 피할 수 없어. 도망쳐봤자다. 끝내주마. 끝내주마. 야! 받아라. 피할 수 없어. 야! 타! 불로 만들어주마. 타! 타! 받아라. 야! 타! 야! 받아라. 도망쳐봤자다. 받아라. 타! 받아라. 타! 야!
Damn. Tell you how that shit goes, bro. That was